Hi, let's cleanse my face with me while I give you a quick crash course on retinol, retinoids, and maybe retinol alternatives. So hold on, right over here. I'm gonna start with, I double cleanse at night. So I'm gonna start with my oil cleanser. Let me get this really quick. Okay, so I am using right now the Pucanule. This is the deep cleansing oil. It's halfway through. I actually really like this. There's a couple I like, but this one's awesome. So I use this to remove all the impurities from the day. Obviously makeup, as you can see, I don't use heavy makeup except for obviously my eyeliner and mascara, which if you put just a foam cleanser, it will be so hard to remove all of that, and sunscreen, etc. I think that is very important to mention is that a lot of people don't know that you have to put water after your oil cleanser so that you can emulsify, and then you go in with your foam cleanser. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really hard to remove. But see, got rid of all the eyeliner. I'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to wear my headband because I'm going to do my foam cleanser. So, like I was saying, make sure that you add water after your oil cleanser to emulsify that. And then you go in with your foam cleanser, which I was very surprised to find out that a lot of people didn't know that. This has been my favorite foam cleanser so far. This is the Tony Moly Wonder Ceramide Mochi Gentle Foam Cleanser. I really like it. Give me a second. Put a little bit of water and then you go in and wash. Okay. Now that it's all clean, back to the subject at hand. We are talking about retinoids, right? So we have retinol, and then prescription strength retinoids, which will be like tretinoid, adapalene, and there's others. But like I said, just crash course. So retinol is going to be like the weakest form over the counter. You usually find that like drugstore, that sort of stuff. And then you have retinol, which is a little stronger than retinol. But it's actually better, like it's more effective, but also it's better for like more sensitive skin people. Like I had rosacea, so retinol was actually very, very good for me, worked well. But now I do tretinoid, and tretinoid is prescription strength retinoid. There's also adapalene, which you can actually find that over the counter as different or different, I'm not sure how you say it. So like I was saying, retinoids work well for acne, anti-aging, fine lines, hyperpigmentation. I have rosacea, and I've actually finally mastered the art of using tretinoid on rosacea, super sensitive skin. But it takes a while, and that's something that when you go to a dermatologist, sometimes they don't explain that to you. Like they just put it as a prescription, use nightly and da-da-da-da-da, and then you're following exactly what the prescription says, and then you end up with a wrecked skin barrier. Like I literally felt like my skin was melting off my face after 2 uses. That's it. That's all it took, 2 uses, and I completely wrecked my skin barrier. So I'm going to teach you my secret now, which now I'm at the point where I'm using it every other night, because if you're not using it that often, there's like no point on using it at all. So I'm going to tell you what I do. Like I was saying, I followed through with what the dermatologist recommended and basically like melted my skin off. So I had to actually go to Reddit, out of all places, to learn how to build up my tolerance for my tretinoid, and that is what has worked. So I learned what is called the sandwich method, where you basically sandwich your tretinoid or retinol, whatever it is that you use, and then you start like the 3, 2, 1 or whatever. So basically I had to start all the way like 1 time a week. For 2 weeks I did that, and then I went to twice a week. For 2 weeks I did that, and then I went to 3 times a week. For 2 weeks in a row I did that. Hold on, my cat is trying to get up. And then finally I worked it up to where I'm doing every other night, and then I'm gonna try this for a couple months before I can do it like every night, right? But yeah, I had to learn the sandwich method, which is basically like you're cleansing, you're hydrating your skin beforehand, you wait like 20 to 30 minutes, add your retinoid, and then add moisturizer on top of that. So you sandwich it. My skincare routine is not that simple because I do skin flooding and I do all of this, Korean skincare routines and stuff. But I basically do like, I cleanse, I do my toners, my serums, moisturizer, wait like 30 to 40 minutes. Then I go in with my tretinoid, and then I go in with another moisturizer to kind of seal it all in and keep it hydrated. And it's been working really, really, really well. One thing that I do is that on the nights that I'm doing tretinoid, because remember I'm doing every other night, I don't use any other actives. Like if I'm using any actives, it's gonna be like alternated. So whatever, like let's see if I'm doing vitamin C, ferulic, whatever serum, I'm gonna do it in the morning, and then at night is when I use my retinoid, which, you know, they always only recommend to do the, you know, retinoid at night because, you know, it makes your skin super sensitive. And then you always have to make sure to have SPF. But like I was saying, so I alternate. So like I don't do any actives if I'm doing my retinoid. So like my mornings, daily, I always use azelaic acid. Sometimes I do alternate my vitamin C, ferulic. And then sometimes I do, like if I'm having like a little breakout, I'll do like a serum from Sinsuru called watery sulfur. It's like a sulfur-based serum just to kind of help with the little like pustules that I get from my rosacea. But yeah, so I try to keep the actives at bay if I'm doing retinoid. And then one thing that I avoid, because some people, like, this is actually very common, like niacinamide is in like basically everything. I avoid niacinamide. Like I am super sensitive to it. I can have it in very, very small doses, and a lot of products contain like almost everything, like your face wash, your toner, so I have to make sure that I actually read the ingredients of the products that I'm using on my skin. That's pretty much it. Like I said, this is just really quick. I will probably try to record a video to have more of like a deep dive into like retinoids, but that's it for now. And then one thing that I forgot to mention, there's also a retinol alternative called bakuchiol, which is very, very popular and is used a lot in like Korean skincare. It's supposed to be a great antioxidant. I have a couple of products. I actually have a couple of like eye creams and serums that I use that have bakuchiol, and it's been working great. But my main thing is retinoid. It's what has been working. I was so surprised that it actually worked for me, and it's actually really, really helped with my rosacea. Of course, there's a lot of things that I've been doing. There's the lasers, there's the retinoid, there's this azelaic acid, but I am so happy that I was finally able to incorporate the retinoid into my routine. So I just wanted to make sure that if anyone needed help, you know, like trying to figure it out, because it's really, really hard to navigate. Like I said, you're going to an expert and then they tell you one thing and then your face is basically, you know, peeling off or whatever. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can always message me, friends. Bye.